You ever step out of your truck and feel like the wind's carrying every single memory you ever had right back to you? That's what hit me the second my boots crunched onto the gravel drive. That dust and sagebrush, it was like stepping into my own childhood again. 10 long years since I'd left this ranch. 10 years since I'd watched my father's hands shape a life out of stubborn dirt and hard work. And the very first thing I see isn't the old oak or the sun-bleached barn, but a stranger's fingers shoved right in my face, sharp as a stake. "You don't belong here anymore," she spits, trembling but cocky. "This is HOA land now." Right then and there, I didn't even need her to say her name. But she did. Karen. And let me tell you, you could spot her kind of a mile away, wears power like it's a cheap perfume, wants everybody to choke on it and say thanks for the privilege. Standing behind her, arms crossed and faces locked in, is a row of neighbors, 6 or 7 strong, like they're guarding the Queen of England instead of self-declared HOA monarch. Nobody moves. The only sound is the wind brushing over the grass and that old fence, the one my father built, creaking a little in the breeze. That fence wasn't just wood and wire. It was family, sweat, history. But there, hammered right into the middle post, is a metal sign, "Disputed Boundary." That hit harder than any insult she could throw. I didn't say a word, not at first. Just stared. There was no dispute, not by law, not by decency, not by the sweat my dad put in. Only the nerve of somebody who thinks she can rewrite the truth because she wants a bigger yard for her barbecue. Karen steps in closer, perfume slicing through the dry air. "I've already called the authorities," she announces, playing for the crowd. "You'll be removed today." I take a slow breath and meet her eyes, steady as I can. "Karen, you just made the biggest mistake of your life." She smirks, so sure of herself, thinking she's got it all under control. And like it's all staged, tires crunch up behind me. I turn, and here comes a police cruiser, or so trying to look like. Dust swirling around it, sunlight flashing on the windows, and out step 2 men in uniforms. But something's off. No shine on the boots, no patches, no real badges. The taller one looks nervous, keeps fiddling with his hat. The other scans the crowd like he's reading off a script. Even from 20 feet away, I could tell these guys wouldn't know how to arrest a cold. Karen struts toward them, heels stabbing the gravel, jabbing her finger at me like she's Wyatt Earp. "Officers, arrest him. He's trespassing on HOA property." The taller one gives me a glance, shrugs, and says, "Ma'am, we'll handle it." But his voice wobbles like Jell-O. I don't move. Just slide my hand into my jacket and pull out an old, yellowed paper, the deed. Signed, sealed, notarized. Held it up so everyone could see. "This is the deed," I say, calm as I can muster. "This land is mine." Karen snaps. "That paper means nothing. The HOA rules override everything here." I have to laugh just a little. "Funny thing about rules," I say, leaning in so the wind carries my words. "They don't mean a damn thing when the folks enforcing them aren't even real cops." That sent a chill through the crowd. Neighbors start to murmur. "They don't look like cops," one guy mutters. Karen's face goes red. She spins on the fake cops. "Don't just stand there. Do your job." The taller one swallows, steps toward me, hand twitching at his empty belt. I let him come in close enough to smell the fake leather, and then I pull out my phone. Hit a button. Suddenly, the air fills with a loud beep, and then my voice and hers, recorded clean as day. "If you set foot on my land, you'll be arrested for impersonating law enforcement." Every threat, every lie, it's all there. The crowd gasps. Karen's face drains of color. "You can't do that," she stammers, but I lean in, real quiet. "Actually, Karen, I can, and you just walk straight into a trap." She lunges for my phone, but before she can reach me, we all hear it. The rumble of heavy tires, the kind you only get with real authority. This time, it's a sheriff's truck, black and silver, lights flashing in the daylight. The crowd shifts. Karen laughs, weakly. "Oh, thank goodness you're here. Finally, someone real. Arrest him." The door swings open, and out steps a tall man, beige uniform, silver badge. Posture like a granite wall. He scans the scene, eyes land on me. "Welcome back," he says, voice steady low. Been a while. Karen's confidence cracks. Wait, you know him. The sheriff doesn't even blink. Of course. This is the rightful owner of this ranch. His father built it before most of you were born. The wind dies. Silence so thick you could taste it. Karen starts to sputter, but the HOA, we have control. The sheriff shakes his head, slow and final. Not out here, you don't. And just like that, her whole kingdom starts to crumble. The sheriff turns, tells her straight up to step off the property. Karen tries again. We have board minutes, maps, boundary updates. The sheriff raises a hand. None of that means a thing. This land's been in his family 57 years. You could see the crowd shifting, doubts crawling into their eyes. 57 years, someone whispers. That's before this place was even a neighborhood. Karen tries one last card. You don't understand. We were just expanding the walking trail. I cut her off, voice sharp. You didn't expand a trail. You built a patio on my father's land. You dug up markers, tore down our fence, and called it a misunderstanding. The sheriff just nods. That's destruction of property, ma'am. And if those two over there were impersonating officers, the fake cops start sweating bullets. He radios for backup. Karen's hands shake. You don't have to do this, she pleads. We can fix this quietly. That's when I finally smile. It's already public, Karen. Security cameras caught it all. Her jaw drops. You recorded every word. Sheriff's backup rolls up 2 real cruisers. The imposters break down fast. She told us she was HOA president. One confesses, said the owner was gone. We just had to scare him off. Karen's face? You ever watch someone realize their whole life just collapsed? That was her. Sheriff sighs. Ma'am, you're lucky this man's calm. You'd be leaving in handcuffs otherwise. The neighbors started to drift off, avoiding my eyes. Only one, an old man I remembered from childhood, comes up. Son, your dad was a good man. Don't let them take this land. That hit deep. I nod. I won't. The sheriff tells me they'll send a surveyor, get official documentation. Karen tries to object. Our HOA plans. He cuts her off. Plans end at the county line. You never had authority here. He looks at me. Build that fence back up, strong and high. I say, it's going taller this time. That gets a couple nervous chuckles. Karen stomps off, humiliated. That night, I sit on the porch, sun bleeding into a blood-orange sky. It's peaceful, but there's a storm inside me. My father always said, land doesn't just belong to you. You belong to it. Now I get it. I call Mark, an old contractor buddy. Can you bring a crew tomorrow? And bring extra concrete. At sunrise, trucks arrive. Hammers and saws fill the air. The ranch's heart beating again. Post by post, plank by plank, we build an 8-foot cedar wall, sealed with steel. Karen watches from her yard, never daring to step closer. When it's done, I hang a sign, private property. Trespassers will be prosecuted. And right after, I file a civil complaint, video, damage, false cops, the whole mess. That night, my phone buzzes. Karen, from an unknown number. We can settle this privately. No need for court. I don't even bother replying. I look out at the land, make a promise under the stars. This isn't over. She wanted to fight. She picked the wrong man. Next day, I'm in my lawyer's office. Franklin, old, sharp, seen it all. She's running a scam, he says, flipping through fake HOA invoices. Over 40 homeowners, all paying monthly dues straight to her account. I ask, there isn't even an HOA, is there? He shakes his head. She made it up. 2 weeks later, the courthouse is packed. Locals, reporters, everyone. Even the sheriff in the back. Karen walks in with a jittery lawyer. Judge calls the case. Franklin stands. Correction. There is no legal HOA. Defendant fabricated it. Judge's eyebrow shoots up. Franklin lays out everything. Fake organization, illegal payments, impersonating cops, attempted land grab. Karen's lawyer objects, but the judge cuts him off. Belief doesn't make it legal, counselor. They play the security footage. Karen yelling at my fence, fake cops on her orders. Audio blasts through the room, her voice ordering my removal. The whole room sees her mask drop. Judge turns to her. Did you call these men? Karen says, I thought they were off-duty officers. Judge holds up a hand. You thought wrong. Next, Franklin runs through the money. Over $80,000 taken in dues, none of it traceable to any official HOA. Where did this money go? The judge asks. Karen's voice is barely a whisper. Neighborhood events, Franklin smiles. You mean your backyard barbecues? The courtroom laughs. By noon, the evidence is stacked high. Then the sheriff testifies. We found Mrs. Hayes tried to evict the rightful owner. The ranch has been in the Thompson family since 1968. The judge shakes his head. Mrs. Hayes, this county doesn't recognize your authority. Your actions are fraudulent and unlawful. Judgment for the plaintiff. Full restoration of property. Restitution of $80,000. Pending criminal charges for impersonation and fraud. Bang goes the gavel. Karen's lawyer sags. She stares ahead, ghost pale. On the way out, she hisses. You think this is over? You embarrass me in front of everyone. I meet her eye. No, Karen. You embarrassed yourself. She has nothing left to say. Outside, the sheriff catches me. You did right, son. Your dad would be proud. I tell him, it's about more than the land now. It's about truth. He smiles. Keep that fence standing. Folks need to know where power ends. I promise I will. The neighbors, the ones who once followed Karen, come up, genuinely apologetic. She made it sound official, they say. That's how control works? I reply. It always sounds official till you ask for proof. That evening, back at the ranch, the sun slipping behind the hills, I finally feel peace. There's still more to do. Civil suits, money to recover, a community to fix. But this land, my father's legacy, is safe. Karen's empire, built on lies, ended under the very law she tried to twist. As the days pass, news of her arrest spreads. The state freezes her assets, and her supporters flip on her. The danger was never the land. It was people who thought they could own more than their share. My father warned me about that. I wake up to the sunrise, coffee in hand, the ranch quiet, coyotes calling in the distance. By noon, some neighbors drive up, the same ones who doubted me. This time, they come to help. Linda, her voice shaking, says, We're sorry. Karen told us you were dangerous, that you'd abandoned this place. I nod. Fear makes people believe lies. Let's do things the right way now. And so we rebuild, together. The new trail, the fence, the barn, everything. Laughter finally replaces suspicion. By sunset, the fence gleams, sign hung high. But this time, below the stern warning, I add a smaller plaque. Welcome to Thompson Ranch. Built on honor, reclaimed with truth. A week later, the sheriff stops by with a sealed envelope. The official restoration of deed. It's yours legally, permanently. 10 years gone, one storm to remind me what matters. That night, walking the fence line under stars, I whisper to the wind, I did it, Dad. The ranch is safe. Somewhere in that silence, I feel the land answer. No anger, just peace. Justice doesn't always need fists. Sometimes it just needs patience and proof. Power built on lies always falls when the truth walks in. And home, no matter how long you're gone, waits for you to make things right. The Thompson Ranch isn't just land. It's a legacy. And this time, I'm never leaving. Now, let me throw this out to you. What would you have done if your neighbors tried to steal what your family built? You think justice always works out? Or did I just get lucky this time? Drop your thoughts below. Share your own story if you've tangled with an HOA. And if you believe the truth always finds its way home, hit that like, maybe even subscribe. Can't wait to read what you all think, because this story, well, it's just one out of 1,000 waiting to be told.